because I'm going to have to guess that they are going to make all kinds of arguments about how this election was stolen, that's why this is justified, because frankly, if it really were stolen, and if Trump really did have a landslide election, then encouraging these people to bust into the Capitol, you could almost say it was justified. So surely the Trump attorneys will talk about, what was it, Dominion, Ruby Tuesday, duffel bags. We're going to have exhibits. We're going to have video evidence. We're going to have expert witnesses, right? All right, let's see. Okay, now let's see what the the Republicans said in response to this opening statement. Remember, according to the president, this was a huge stolen election, and there were mountains of evidence proving it. Now, they lost every court case, but often the MAGA people will say, well, we lost it because we never had standing. We weren't even allowed to present our evidence. So now here you go. You've got the biggest trial in the history of the Trump presidency. You've got the entire country watching. Please, surely you must have evidence finally proving this so-called fraud. Let's hear it.
Mr. President and members of the United States Senate, thank you for taking the time to hear from me. My name is Bruce Castor. I am the lead.
Now, remember, President Trump always hires the best people. So this guy is going to be a straight-up modern-day Perry Mason, and he's going to explain how this election was stolen and how you can't incite an insurrection if an election was stolen. Oh, we got a new member? Welcome, Brittany N. Crosby. Thank you for calling that out. Welcome. Love it. All right, here we go. Let's go on and hear Mr. Castor.
Lead prosecutor, or lead counsel for the 45th President of the United States. I was an assistant DA for such a long time, I keep saying prosecutor, but I do understand the difference, Mr. Reskin.
What the fuck? What's he doing? Is this? It doesn't seem like he's really prepared.
Before I begin, I want to comment on the outstanding presentation from our opponents and the emotion that certainly welled up in Congressman Raskin about his family being here during that terrible day. And you will not hear any member of the team representing former President Trump say anything but in the strongest possible way denounce.
Oh, Want to See More is saying, hey, how come I didn't give a gong for our new member, Brittany? Shoot. Oh, I got a cowbell for you, Brittany. Thank you, Brittany. New Nerds member. Thank you. All right.
The violence of the rioters and those that breached the Capitol, the very citadel of our democracy.
The citadel of our democracy, exactly. So this is the point where he's going to say, and that's why the most important thing about a democracy is the integrity of the election and the integrity of the ballots, and therefore, here are the 10 pieces of evidence that show this was a landslide for my client, President Trump, and why this election was fraudulent, and therefore, all of those patriots were acting completely within reason.
Literally the symbol that flashes on television whenever you're trying to explain that we're talking about the United States. Instant symbol.
Oh, we got a super chat from Jennifer Montgomery. I love it. The first lawyer I spoke for Trump's side was a joke. He said that he expected an objection for the Senate open arguments. Also, Trump should have been charged with negligence. Yeah, maybe.
To have it attacked is repugnant in every sense of the word. The loss of life is horrific.
Yes.
I spent many long years prosecuting homicide cases, catching criminals that committed murders. I have quite an extensive experience in dealing with the aftermath of those things.
Yes.
Certainly, as a FOP member and a member of many police organizations myself, we mourn the loss of the Capitol Police officer, who I understand is laying not too far away from here. And you know, many of you in this room, over your careers before they reached this summit here in the Senate.
What is this guy going to defend the president? Who did Donald Trump hire?
Would have had times where you represented your local communities as assistant district attorneys, assistant Commonwealth attorneys, assistant state attorneys. And you know this to be true, that when a horrific event occurred in your county or in your
this guy
responsible,
terrible. Is he like some kind of Trump University professor, like law professor from Trump University Law School?
Should be prosecuted to the fullest extent that our laws allow. And indeed, I have followed some of those cases and those prosecutions, and it seems to me that we're doing a pretty good job of identifying and prosecuting those persons who committed those offenses. And I commend the FBI and the District of Columbia Police and the other agencies for their work.
Where's the evidence about the stolen election that your client kept talking about?
Natural to recoil. It's an immediate thing. It comes over you without your ability to stop it. The desire for retribution. Who caused this awful thing? How do we make them pay? We recognize in the law, and I know many.
Yes, there should be accountability. Exactly. Yes, this guy makes sense.
Many of you are lawyers, probably lawyers. Some of you, I've been a lawyer 35 years, longer than me. Many longer than me, probably. And we know we have a specific body of law that deals with passion and rage, blinding logic and reason. That's the difference between manslaughter and murder. Manslaughter is the killing of a human being upon sudden and intense provocation. But murder is done with cold blood and reflective thought. We are so understanding of the concept that people's minds can be overpowered with emotion where logic does not immediately kick in.
What is the legal argument? Are you going to say that the election was stolen and therefore the riot was justified? Or are you saying there was no riot? What's the argument?
That we have recognized examples that otherwise would be hearsay and said that no, when you're driving down the street and you look over at your wife and you say, hey, you know what? That guy's about to drive through the red light and kill that person. Your wife can testify to what you said, because even though it's technically hearsay, is an exception because it's the event living through the person. Why? No opportunity for reflective thought. And there's all sorts of examples that we recognize in the law
this guy doing?
For why people.
This feels like a terrible college professor that probably maybe should have retired a long time ago, or like some distant uncle that's just rambling on.
Immediately desire retribution. Immediately recognize in the law that people can be overcome by events.
Spy hunter saying, no, man, this is part of his strategy. All right, okay, maybe it's part of his strategy.
And you know,
I don't think he knew what he was about to say next. Oh no, this is painful. I didn't
Senators of the
pause it.
United States, they're not ordinary people.
I feel like Trump hires his attorneys the way he filled his cabinet. He just sort of says he looks like a lawyer. He has a pinstripe suit.
They're extraordinary people, in the technical sense, extraordinary people.
Oh God, this is too painful. All right. Well, I don't think that this Mr. Castor. I'm quite disappointed. I don't think they're going to present their evidence of the great stolen election, which I thought was the whole point of this problem, this whole case, was that there was this like, what was that? Sidney Powell and Rudy Giuliani said they had bombshell evidence, and here you are with the whole country watching, and you get this guy to ramble on. Like, seriously, Donald? Is that the best people? Damn, man. If this is how you hire for your own impeachment defense, how the hell did you hire for your cabinet? Who are those people that you brought? How did you decide, like, Rick Perry should be, like, heading up energy? Or Betsy DeVos should be heading up education? Like, did you even interview them? All right. Now, I've got 7 minutes before Mrs. Nerd is going to kick my butt because I promised her I would, of course, be present for dinner. So one thing I want to do before I wrap is, oh, shoot. See, you see the dilemma I'm in right now. You know I'm enjoying this conversation, fellas and ladies and nerds, all of you. All right, let's just get moving. All right, two things. One is I want to show you a quick update on my other project, which is the ofthepeople.us. So some of the people running for local office. Oh, there's some new profiles. I love it. So basically, ofthepeople.us, it's for anybody running for office. Oh, did I not share? Hold on. Share. Share. This button. There we go. All right. So ofthepeople.us, basically, it's for people who are running for local office to be discovered by people like you who want to support them. And you can see here, we just added the ability to add tags, which is super cool. So if you say, hey, I want to find a candidate that's for, let's say, BLM, you'd be like, boom. Oh, and it works. Thank you, Sam and Ian, our engineers. I can uncheck it, bam, and I get all of them again. I can check multiple. Like I say, oh, I want to see people who went to Bowdoin College. Boom, that would be moi. I'm not running for office, but I was testing the software. And then you can click on the person, in this case, Allie, and you can see a little bit more about them. Obviously, the embedded YouTube video, there's a bug there, but I'll show you what it should look like because I know it works on mine. And you can embed a little video down there. So still in early development, as you can see, but we're really excited about ofthepeople.us, 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 all volunteer effort. Okay. So, next thing I want to do is show you, yeah, here we go, the Smartmatic. And we don't have time to go through the whole thing because Mrs. Nerd, I promised her I would be ready for dinner. But let's just remember here, so basically they're suing Fox News for darn near $3 billion. And they're basically saying, you guys made up this whole fixed stolen election BS, and now you've destroyed our business, and you've basically ruined, are guilty of libel, I think. Okay, so let's just quickly scan through. I'll look through some highlights. Okay, so who's getting sued? Well, this is like kind of the rogues gallery here. You got Fox News, Lou Dobbs, Maria Bartiromo, and Janine Pirro. and Rudolph Giuliani and Sidney Powell. So this is the who's who of Stop the Steal. So why are they going to why are they suing them? Let's see here. Ooh, look at this. Hey, stop putting the freaking computer outside my door, Ryan and Brandon. If you think you're funny, you're going to be charged. Okay, sorry, I had to yell at my son. He's watching this live stream and playing it loud so it echoes in my ear, but he will face the nerdling consequences. Okay, so it starts out with Smartmatic's role as an election technology company. So just so you guys know, their software, you heard like them talk about Smartmatic all the time, was only used in LA County, California. One freaking county, and it consumed all of this, this airtime for the MAGA news. Then they talk about it was just used in LA County, and as you know, like Trump was never going to win Los Angeles County. Then they talk about how Giuliani and Powell created a story about Smartmatic, how Fox defendants joined the conspiracy to defame and disparage Smartmatic and its election software. Let me see if I can make this bigger, by the way. Is that better? Maybe. I don't know. Hold on. I should have prepared for this. Fit to width. Well, whatever. Okay. Defendants engaged in widespread disinformation campaign against Smartmatic and its election technology. They use multiple platforms to spread this disinformation. They presented their statements about Smartmatic as facts and not as opinions. They falsely stated and implied that Smartmatic's election technology and software were widely used in the 2020 election. I think we all saw that. They never said it was just used in LA County. They falsely stated and implied that Dominion used Smartmatic's election technology, which it did not. They falsely stated that Smartmatic fixed rigs stole the 2020 election for Biden. Now look, if this is all true and you have evidence, then you're not guilty of defaming a company. But freedom of speech doesn't mean you're able to just lie about another business. Falsely stated and implied that the Smartmatic sent votes to foreign countries for tabulation. I remember hearing about that. Remember that when Sidney Powell from Trump's Dream Team said that the votes were counted like in Cuba? Falsely stated and implied that Smartmatic technology were compromised or hacked. Falsely stated and implied that Smartmatic was banned from providing election technology in the U.S. Falsely stated and implied Smartmatic is a Venezuelan company founded by dictators from communist countries. Falsely stated and implied that Smartmatic's election technology was designed to fix, rig, and steal elections. I remember watching that press conference. This is the one where Rudy Giuliani blew his nose and then wiped his face with his hand and then shook Sidney Powell's hands, which was nasty and disgusting. They had no support for their statements or implications. They did not have sources to prove something that did not happen. They eventually admitted they had no basis for their statements. They knew its anchors and guests lacked basis for their statements. They purposely avoided learning the truth about Smartmatic and its election technology and software. Basically on and on and on and on. So the rub here is that if you believe in Stop the Steal, then this suit will be thrown out and Smartmatic could be countersued by Fox News. How many of you think that's going to happen? Or do you think that, oh shoot, they're going to have to apologize. They're going to have to make all these statements. They're going to have to fire Lou Dobbs. Well, that's starting to happen already. So if you were bought hook, line, and sinker into this idea that Smartmatic helped rig the elections and the ballots, like they just flipped the switch and they went from Trump to Biden, you got played. Because if that were true, then this suit will be thrown out and you will not see Fox News settle, which they probably will. Ooh, what's this? We got a super chat from Varoom. Maybe next stream you can cover Mike Lindell's crayon charts as revealed in his documentary last Friday. Mike Lindell is definitely not a nerd. So I would love to see his definition of evidence. Yes, this was the interview where Rudy was dripping the dark brown liquid on the side of his face. But more disgusting was when he was blowing his nose and then he folded the handkerchief outside. So the boogers came on the outside, and then he wiped his face with it. And then he shook Sidney Powell's hand after she gave her statements during a pandemic. So Rudy's quite a piece of work. All right, so if you enjoyed this stream, please do me a solid. Like, share, subscribe. If you really like our stuff, please consider becoming a member, like all those fantastic people that that we called out already, including our newest member. So really appreciate everybody pitching in. We'll be growing the channel. We're going to try and hit, we're at 18,000 subs. We're going to try and hit 25,000 this year. I don't know if we'll be able to do it, but with your help, we're going to invest in more content, more technology, and promoting the channel. With that, I'm going to say goodbye, nerds. Sorry, Mrs. Nerd. I know I'm late. I'm coming. Wendy, I'm coming. I'm ending it now. Peace out. Bye, nerds. I do need to give a quick shout out to the people who support this channel and support this content. Our members. So thank you to our members. We're going to start with our EVP level, which I believe is empty. So if anyone wants to become an executive vice president of the Nerds for Humanity channel, you should join right now. That spot is available and you will be awesome. All the money does not go to my pocket. It just goes to promoting the channel, investing in better content, and helping us grow the audience. Vice president level, we'll sort by total time as member. VLAM, JM Sap, Fat Lamb. Let me, hold on a second, move myself. I'm in the way here. There we go. Woo, all right. JM Sap, Kristen Levin, Soldier One, Laura Lane, Patrick Dunn, Bike, Mindful Skeptics. All right. Thank you to our VPs. And next level is our hardcore. Thank you to Mike Chang, Gene Lim, David, Tracy, DK, Landline, Phoenix, Jekalego, Kirsch, Mr. History, Byram, Susan, Yang, Tony, Robert, Dean, Stat Nerd, Jalessa, Jay Perrin, and J. Brian Anderson. All right. And next level, after the hardcore, we've got the verified nerds. While you're waiting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Helen, Lisa, Sugar, Albert, Brandon, Yes, Brian, Peter, Erez, Your Mommin, Sophia, Jadwiga, Gail, Shake and Make, Mike, Doris, Emerald, Nell, Lori, Ben, Roger, Lisa, Christina, Vaughn, Rasta Fasta, Richard, Ryan, Jessica, James, Jalopy, and Emma. And in terms of our newest members overall, who are our young birds? Semery, J. Brian Anderson, Ardent, Mai, Alex, Annalisa, Monica, Karen, J. Perrin, Ender the Third, Dr. A, William, Bustos, and Jameson are all under the 1 month mark. And our oldest members in the history of the channel are Mike, the very first, VLAM, JMSAP, Helen, and Lisa.
Yang Gang 2020. Yang Gang 2020. Yang Gang 2020. Yang Gang. Yeah, yeah. Yang Gang 2020.